What is up, everybody? You're live with the Prodigies, another great episode of the podcast. This time we're doing WWE Raw review, something I haven't done in a while, because honestly, it hasn't been worth doing it. But tonight we have a very special, one of the last few draws, honestly, the last legitimate draw in WWE history. And that man is the Mr. You Can't See Me, Mr. Big Time Fight Man, Mr. Championship Man, Mr. John Cena, as Justin Roberts would say. He's returning in his hometown tonight, Boston Gardens, even though he probably has a mansion in LA and a couple houses elsewhere, probably one in China too, because this is one of the busiest men in the world when it comes to movies, comic books, and he's pretty damn good at it. I have to give him credit for it. He's getting ready to do the voice for Rocksteady on the new Ninja Turtles movie come August. So I respect anybody that's having a life outside of WWE, because that it's killed so many people, it's ruined so many people creatively and actual reality. It's always healthy to do other things just to keep yourself fresh. It's healthy to challenge yourself and do other endeavors in this world of sports and entertainment and television. With that said, I just want to give a shout out to somebody that was gracious enough to ask me to be an affiliate. I hope they do well. They're still a new company that's growing. They're barely 3 years old, and that is Poggers. Yes, Poggers. Go over to Shop Poggers or buypoggers.com. Use the code Prodigy Poggers. Get 10% off. Yes, that is my code, and that is Prodigy Poggers, and get 10% off. And last thing you need to do is hit me up on Twitter. It's TJTime1991. Let me know that you use my code to get your 10% off, and I'll shout you out and tell people to go follow you. That's what we'll do with that. And make suggestions. Like, a lot of people tend to be negative of, oh, I don't like this, I don't like this product. Let them know. Poggers is on Twitter, so let them know. Can you suggest this flavor? I think this is healthier. Try that. It's all about growing and being proactive, and also giving input and suggestions. How you expect people to get better with you not letting them know what you like? It's about constructive criticism. Don't be negative. What's the point? Like, if you're going to be negative, just don't bother participating in whatever the product is. That's what I would say. So, yeah, shout out to Poggers once again. Go over there, buypoggers.com. Get yourself 10% off, or just Google Poggers. It's the frog face. It'll come up. They got mixers. They have different powders, different flavors. I heard they're working on an orange and a peach one. I know the cream one sells well, and it's another one. I can't think of it right now, but if you go on the site, check that out. I'm just waiting for my mixer to come. When it comes in the mail, I'll put it on here. I'm also going to give me some merch. But anybody else that want to, follow me or whatever, or give me some sponsorships. I'm more of an adult content, so keep that in mind. So this is going to be more of adult type stuff for y'all to sell to me. So Monster, Red Bull. I drink a lot of Red Bull at work because I work early in the morning. So I love Red Bull. So if Red Bull want to sponsor me, check out your boy. So, yeah, once again, shout out to Poggers. But let's get into the show. Big Match John returning Boston Garden, TD Garden, whatever it's called these days, to hopefully, possibly announce a match with Austin Theory. This kid, Austin Theory, is a thoroughbred. He's up and coming, and this is a guy that you could build a business around. He's 6 feet tall. He works a safe style. He can work with everybody. He has great psychology. He understands the intangibles, the very small details of being a pro wrestler. He doesn't forget that pro wrestling is a performance. You're supposed to stay in character. You're supposed to keep the crowd engaged, because a lot of these wrestlers just think, I can do moves. I'm badass. It's not about that. It's about being an all-around performer. The greatest wrestlers, the Rocks, the Hogans, the Austins, the Roman Reigns, they go on to be actors because they get the intangible. How the hell could I forget my favorite? I'm wearing the shirt right now. Roddy Piper. They go on to be successful because they understand the intangibles. They understand the small details of what a performer is supposed to do. It'll behoove WWE to use John Cena. Even though I know he's back tonight partially to sell tickets, he's back tonight partially to just be a big name on the show, because WWE's numbers going into WrestleMania season are awful. They're averaging like a 1.7 viewership. And people could say to the cows coming to the moon, oh, it's a different format. Oh, people are watching different ways. There's a service called Samba that tracks viewership online. WWE is low there too. Trust me. Stop making excuses. WWE's creative is also awful. Vince McMahon used to have a saying back in the day, I don't want to hear excuses. If the creative is good, people will watch it. WWE has clearly gotten away from that philosophy and formula in the last, I would say, 10 years, because their numbers are way down. WWE hasn't been really watchable since probably like 2012 or 13. It's been a nice little while since they've been even marginally watchable. Y'all have to keep give me a sec, because I'm tagging this up online so people can see this. But yeah, John Cena must be used properly. Like, he was the biggest star of this era, and WWE needs to understand that they have to protect their investment with John Cena, because he's one of the few last legitimate stars that you actually have. So you have to be willing to take advantage of the type of star power that this guy has. So yeah, let's just keep that in mind. 1 second, Red Bull. And I don't think John Cena have come out yet. They're probably going to save him for the last hour of the show because he's a draw. You got to have a top segment going into every hour. They open up with a match with Solo Sikoa, and I'll talk about the benefits of Solo Sikoa in just a second. People have different opinions of him. I like him quite a bit. I think he's pretty damn good. So yeah. So I like Solo Sikoa. I'm gonna get into Solo in just a minute, but WWE needs to keep in mind that they're an action show and they need to always have some type of action because they get into the bad habit way too often of starting wrestling off with either too long talking segments that's not engaging. If you can't talk like The Rock, you should not be on the mic for 10 and 20 minutes. And that's something that they're really bad at. And it's something that they really need to improve at doing. And they haven't done a lot of that quite yet, because of the Triple H regime doesn't really see the big deal of it, which is a main reason why I think he's an absolute awful leader. Because for you to be an effective leader, you have to really understand. Sometimes it's not about my ego. Sometimes it's not about forcing my agenda or what I want on TV. It's about the fans. The fans are always right, and most importantly, keeping up with the times. So that's what WWE is struggling with right now, because the numbers are reflective of that. At this point, I don't see the point of why anybody would even bother to try to make excuses about it. It's no point of making excuses. The products stink, and WWE just needs to get out their own way, get out of their feelings, and nullify that issue. And they're not doing a good job of that at the moment. Yeah, so that's something that they really need to be doing right now. Real quick, let's before we get deep into this conversation, what's trending on Twitter right now? A big star, Logan Paul, is trending. He must be in the ring. They have Logan Paul as we speak trending. I honestly think, speaking of Logan Paul, because I was gonna mention him, I'm sure he's on the poster too, on the thumbnail, I should say. Logan Paul is a draw, and he's the only person that saved a very awful Royal Rumble at WWE. The Royal Rumble this year was absolutely awful for a lot of reasons, because it was obvious that their whole goal was to try to get Cody Rhodes to pop when Cody Rhodes don't matter. Like, casuals don't know who Cody Rhodes is. With all due respect to Dusty Rhodes, if we're going to compare him to the big star, because he's a regional star in NWA, WCW. That was only relevant like the mid Atlantic area, the Virginias, Virginia and the Carolinas. That's only the real place that Dusty was really a draw. Elsewhere, Dusty compared to Austin, Hogan, Savage, Piper, The Undertaker, John Cena, Rock, Foley, people like that, he was not a draw compared. Andre the Giant, he wasn't a big draw if we're comparing it to people like that. So Cody Rhodes, if your father, who was a good promo, wasn't a big star, what the hell makes you think you were? So Logan Paul is one of these people that WWE can actually push properly, but the absolute wrong idea you can get is putting him with Seth Rollins. You putting him with Seth Rollins has to be one of the worst things that WWE can do right now. First of all, Seth Rollins is extremely injury prone. I know he hasn't injured a lot of people lately, but he has some heavy bodies on his resume. I mean, he has Sting. He ended Sting's career in WWE. Sting had to take 2 or 3 years off. That was basically the end of his run in WWE. He injured John Cena, broke his nose in some type of way. WWE still had him work with Cena at that year's SummerSlam, which is absolutely nonsensical. So yeah, what do y'all be doing, WWE? Who raised y'all? So that's WWE has a lot of issues that they need to address as it relates to creative, as it relates to what makes a star, as it relates to really taking advantage of technology, something I think they've been egregiously behind the times on. Their show looked like it's 10 years old as far as production wise. The cameras look dated. They might be 1080p, probably. How was Impact Wrestling, which is in my opinion, and according to metrics and numbers, an extremely inferior product compared to WWE. How did they have 4K cameras when WWE don't have 4K cameras? Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't like WWE. Y'all need to do better. And I understand 2007 was a turning point in a negative way for WWE in the light of all the negative press, which ironically the person I'm about to mention was trending on WWE a day or two ago, like Friday. Chris Benoit, and we're going to mention him on here because it's news related and it's topical. So I understand WWE had to take a completely massive 360 turn when it comes to how they had to present the product. Like, they made a concerted effort to focus on wellness after Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit died. They tried to spin it because it was tragic. Like, it put a bad light to the point where the feds and the federal government was about to investigate the WWE. I think the Congress. They were going to investigate WWE to see if regulations were being upheld, if they were up to code with health and wellness and things like that. So they had to implement a wellness policy. It was kind of a joke after Eddie Guerrero died because look up 2 years later in 2007, the amount of people that got suspended for anabolic steroids, for all these scripts, doctors are basically feeding them roids, which to me, conversations like that get real murky. As long as you're not taking like dangerous drugs, steroids in the performance business, even though it have adverse effects when it comes to your hormones and your physique and your energy, and it can do terrible things to your organs. However, from a cosmetic standpoint, I think pro wrestling should be one of those businesses where you can take some steroids because it's an image business. I'm pretty sure people take steroids today. They just take good cycles of steroids where it don't look like they have droopy nipples. They don't have acne on their back. They don't have that dad gut that comes randomly after you go off the cycle and shit like that, or at least if you're on a bad cycle. So I understand the logic behind why WWE felt they had to do that, but I feel like enough time has passed where they can start focusing on being an adult product again. Because even if WWE, let's say all of a sudden becomes an adult product and start doing edgier things, you still have a bunch of alternatives for these fans that just want to focus on wrestling. MLW will still be there. Ring of Honor and Honor Club and all this stuff. AEW will still be. These nerds will find wrestling. These people, this counterculture alternative group of people will find wrestling that they like. WWE needs to be the show for the professionals, and if they're going to be a PG product, at least make your wrestlers look like superheroes and super sheroes. Have extremely hot women, which they're doing a pretty decent job with that, because Lord have mercy. Bianca Belair, not only she's uniquely beautiful, she's muscular and all that, but she knows how to be sexy. Certain outfits she wears, she's obviously gorgeous in the face. Carmella has some sex appeal. She can slow down a little bit on the plastic surgery, but she understands how to be a performer. I watched a little bit of her and Bianca. They have chemistry, not so much as far as moves. They're not that great in the ring, but as far as like both of them have on-screen presence where they know how to dominate a scene. That's what I like about them. They know how to take over whatever scene they're involved with on TV. And these are the type of people that you want to be at the forefront representing your company if you want WWE to get back in the mainstream approach, especially considering both of them have mainstream appeal. Bianca Belair, former powerlifter, and we live in an area of positivity and body image for women. So she's a good spokesperson, well-spoken, very corporate. You know, you don't see her saying crazy thing on Twitter like some of these people do. She's very professional, even when she's put in situations where she lost to Becky Lynch in 11 seconds for whatever reason, which was an extremely unpopular decision. And thank God she was able to recover from that, because some people can't recover from that. But she was good enough to do it. And Carmella has experience mainstream-wise as it relates to being a former Patriots cheerleader and a former Los Angeles Lakers cheerleader. So these are the people with mainstream appeal, whether it's looks or they have quotable catchphrases. These are the people that you want the masses to see and say, yeah, I like that WWE product, man. My kids or me or the whole family can go to the show and imitate these things. And I think WWE has gotten way too far away from that. And to me, in my opinion, a lot of it is for the absolute wrong reasons. So, it's something that they desperately need to get back to, because their numbers are suffering right now. When you have an average of 1.7 million viewers going to the WrestleMania season, your product is in trouble. And people can make all the excuses they want. They can make all this. You can't blame the NFL. It's not really any great blockbuster movies that started coming out yet. Creed came out recently. I haven't seen the numbers for that. I'm sure it did well, even though it's a trilogy or a third part sequel. It's not much competition in the movie theaters, in sports. It's a slower season right now. Baseball is barely getting going. Basketball is going to heat up soon with the playoffs. Basketball not as popular as football and stuff like that. Until at least to the finals and stuff like that, which is not until June. But they don't have an excuse. Stop making excuses. Your product is just not watchable right now. And this is something that WWE needs to come to terms with, that your show is not good. When you put what the people want to see, they will go. Wrestling fans back in the Mid-Atlantic area, just to give you an example, in the NWA, used to pile up on top of each other in small armories and small forums and small-ass bleacher-filled buildings. It was 115 degrees. They were sweating on top of each other, but they knew it was going to be a good product. So I don't want to hear all these convenient excuses. Oh, it was a blizzard. Wrestling fans used to go to matches in a blizzard if it was a good card out in the Northeast. If Bruno was on the card or Hogan was on the card, or whoever somebody was coming in visiting, maybe like a Junkyard Dog, who was a massive star in his time. They came with no matter what the weather, inclement weather. They came no matter what the weather condition was. So these inconsistent excuses, these nonsensical excuses, these convenient excuses, they get really old. And I don't understand why WWE continue to buy it. Make y'all look weak. It is no way you're a multi-million-dollar, almost $1 billion corporation, and you're trying to get a company to buy you, one of these major media conglomerates, for $9 billion, which is well above market. They're insane to even think they're going to get that type of money. That is crazy to think they're going to get $9 billion with the market value. Where's your stars? You can't even get The Rock to come in and do a WrestleMania. You got to throw stuff at the last minute, like John Cena returning, like potentially getting Stone Cold Steve Austin coming, trying to pull Dave Bautista from his Hollywood schedule. Y'all wouldn't have to do these things if y'all were actively building your stars right now in developmental. I think WWE needs some type of NIL program. Get away from all these broke down, bent up indie wrestlers that you can't do anything with, that you can't make any money with. They're all shot born. Look at Tommaso Ciampa. They tried to push Tommaso Ciampa for 3 or 4 years. His knees got worse every year. He was hurt on average probably like twice a year. You cannot invest in a 35-year-old beat-up, well-traveled indie person. It's not going to happen. So start developing guys like Gabe Stevenson, who's a legitimate Olympic athlete. All he needs to do, anybody can learn how to wrestle. Like all these coaches and shit, and people hate me, and a lot of the coaches from the wrestling world, the pro wrestling world, dislike me because they are mad that I don't accept that wrestling is a mark-only boys club. Anybody can learn how to wrestle. Most people can't talk, though. Wrestling is something where you're going to make it if you can talk. All the top drawing wrestlers in this business or in wrestling in general had one thing in common. They were all electrifying promos. And the fact that WWE's current regime ignores that shows you the ignorance that this company has. And they expect somebody to pay them $9 billion. Get over yourselves. Literally anybody can be a wrestler. Anybody can learn how to bump, tuck your head, roll, hit the ropes, all that shit. You cannot be taught how to talk. Well, you can if you want to, but you still got to have charisma. Charisma is one of those things you just have, and you have to want it to develop it if you don't. If you don't have it, you have to learn how to take acting classes. You got to learn how to react. Get used to being on camera. We live in an era now where it is absolutely no excuse for not being able to cut a promo. You got Snapchat to practice on. You got Instagram Live to practice on. You got Facebook Live. You got TikTok. You got YouTube Live. It is so many tools there to better your public speaking skills. Get on there and practice every day, even if you just make a 2 or 3 minute video. The more you do it, the more you get used to multitasking. Hey, fan, shout out to so-and-so at this and that. Go retweet them. The more, that's why I'm so pretty good at it, because I practiced it for multiple years. And I already kind of was born with a little bit of charisma anyway, which is why a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're pretty good. It's easy to dislike you, because I grew up watching some of the best heels ever and learning from them. The Bobby Heenans, the Ric Flairs, the Roddy Pipers, The Rock when he was in his heel prime, Stone Cold Steve Austin from like 2001 when he was absolutely psychotic. What? Michael Cole get in his ring, you want to get your ass whipped. Like, I learned from the best people in the business. And I've always kind of had an idea what type of character I would have when I was considering wrestling, which was well out of my hand at this point. B-Fab is trending right now. I like B-Fab. Brianna is going to be good in the future. She's talented, good promo. All that ring stuff, as I said a minute ago, that can be taught. People got to get this idea out their head. They'll, oh, yeah, work rate and all that. Hey, Marissa, I was off screen for a minute. I'm sorry, but I got your message up now. That you can be taught how to talk. I'm sorry, not talk. You could be taught how to wrestle in the ring. It is nothing special about that. B-Fab is going to be fine. She's only about like 28, 29. She's young, early 30s at the latest. She's got plenty of time. I like her. Great personality. Cool to her fans. Cool as hell on Instagram. Big fan of Brianna Brandy. Or Brandy Brianna. I think her name is Brianna Brandy. Sweet girl. Daria. I'm praying for Daria, a.k.a. Sonya Deville. Love Sonya Deville. She's having some issues right now with a gun permit misunderstanding in New Jersey, which she's from New Jersey. She's got the permit in Florida where she lives. So I'm praying for Sonya. Get out of jail. Get that stuff done. Get back in wrestling and do what you're supposed to do because she's such a talented girl. Love Sonya Deville. So big ups to Sonya Deville. Hope you come back soon. Now let's get into Logan Paul. I don't want Logan Paul to work with Seth Rollins for the simple fact Seth Rollins has absolutely no business being in the ring for him. How can somebody explain to me, either in after post-production or whenever we're done, when we're in the broadcast? It's TJ Time 1991 on Twitter or TJ the Prodigy on YouTube. That's TJDA Prodigy on YouTube. Can somebody explain to me why Seth Rollins deserves to be in a match with Logan Paul? Logan Paul is a legitimate YouTube creator, content creator, a YouTube influencer. Seth Rollins is a guy that, for whatever reason, gets a lot of airtime despite him producing enough. He's an in-the-bubble WWE guy. It is no logical or rational reason why Logan Paul is working with Seth Rollins, especially at a WrestleMania. Seth Rollins, it should be lucky to be on the main card to begin with. He should be on the pre-show for the Intercontinental title against somebody like Johnny Gargano. He's a mark. He wants to wrestle. He hates so people. He puts so much emphasis on work rate. So why not give him what he wants? What's up, Victor? My big homie is here. Seth Rollins is one of those guys that should be happy that he's even getting a WrestleMania spot on the main card because there's several people you can argue that deserve to be on that card way more than Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins simply has a spot that he has despite not being able to be a draw because Triple H loves him. He must do something to Triple H will. Something he fantasizes about this guy. I don't understand what it is, but Triple H loves this dude. If you don't believe me, he came out of retirement in 2017 at WrestleMania 33 to wrestle Seth Rollins. They had a whole storyline that carried over to NXT and all this crap, and that's why this guy on TV. And for the people that he didn't get a chance, Seth Rollins has main evented with Brock Lesnar about 3 times. If Brock Lesnar can't get you over, you're not going to get over. It's not meant to be. The great Bobby the Brain Heenan said it the best. He said if Hulk Hogan can wrestle a grape, he would wrestle a grape. So many people dislike Hulk Hogan because they didn't work with Hulk Hogan. If you were good enough, you would have wrestled Hulk Hogan. You obviously weren't good enough to wrestle him. You weren't a draw. And when I say good enough, I don't care how many tope con helos you could dive out the ring. I don't care the flippy dippy 680-degree splash. I don't care how many forearms you could throw. None of that crap matter. You can get 4th graders off the street that can do that. That don't mean they're a draw. Anybody can learn how to do a wrestling move. Just like anybody can learn how to be a tumbler, anybody can learn how to play an instrument. The question is, can you sell out an arena doing those 2 things? Can you draw? Do you have talent? Some people say, oh, this person or that person don't deserve to. Let's say 2 Chainz, for example. A 2 Chainz or like a Lil Yachty. These are 2 people in music because I'm a big music person as well. 2 Chainz and Lil Yachty aren't the best rappers. However, they are smart businessmen. They know how to sell out arenas. They know how to market themselves. That's what they're good at. People like the old school rappers like the Papooses and I'm not going to say Nas because Nas really not like this. I'm only going to reference Nas because Nas fans think he didn't have a good run even though he's a good rapper. I love Nas. However, Nas didn't figure out how to keep himself marketable until like the 2010s. The problem with Nas is the problem with a lot of those rappers, the early hip-hop people that were like the pioneers. And I give you credit for being a pioneer in rap music. But their issue was, I can rap, but my beat can be terrible. No, the beat has to be good, and you have to rap good for people to take you serious. Nas figured that out because he came out with great songs like Spicy, which came out like last year. That is an absolutely amazing song with Fabio Foreign and A$AP Ferg. That song is awesome. And he figured out that's the type of production that you need. But getting back to wrestling, Logan Paul should be wrestling Roman Reigns. If you cannot get The Rock, I would rather see a rematch, which you might well say it was barely a rematch because Logan Paul and Roman Reigns fought in Saudi Arabia. Most American fans did not watch that. So you might as well say it didn't even happen. So I would rather see Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. 2 legitimate drawing athletes is what we need in this business. And I'm going to go right now and pull up Logan Paul's YouTube count because I have no idea what his YouTube channel is. I would have he has pretty close to 1 million subscribers though. Let's go to Logan Paul, a guy that started from the bottom, look from a small town in Ohio, showed that he had a personality and made some money with this boxing celebrity. But I think Jake Paul's a better marketer than him. Fucking Logan Paul has 20.6 million subs. How old is his channel? Let's see. His channel is about 8 years old. He started his channel in August of 2015. He has 23.6 million subscribers. It is celebrities, females that put their butt out, that have no talent, that has less subs than that. It's females with talent that has less subs than that. That shows you the star that Logan Paul is. And I'm going to take myself, bring myself on camera for a second, show my sexy face, my braids. And I'm going to show y'all so y'all can believe me, Logan Paul's YouTube count. I'm going to hover right here over it. 23.6 million. You can see the cursor right now, and I'm going in circle of motion over it. This is what a star is. Logan Paul has 23.6 million subscribers. That's the type of guy that you put, and I'm zooming in so you can see it. 23.6 million subs. Now let's type in Seth Rollins. I'm not even sure Seth Rollins have a YouTube channel, but I'm pretty sure it's not nowhere near that count. And if it is, as Donald Trump would say, fake news. That is fake news. He does not have the subscriber count that Logan Paul has. He has 8.9 thousand. He has 8,000 subscribers, Seth Rollins, if this is official channel, which it probably is. 8,000 YouTube subscribers. And he's in WWE, former WWE champ. Yeah, this is him. It looks like, because that looks like an organic video he filmed himself. Yeah, this is Seth Rollins. Probably, more than likely is him on one of his channels. Let's say he's got between 8 and 10,000 subscribers. He's a bum. What you think, Victor? Well, this is the type of guy, yeah, he even said Cuck Rollins. This is the type of guy that you put in the main event. And I'm not talking about Seth Rollins. I'm talking about Logan Paul. If anybody isn't convinced that this guy's a draw, go look at what he did with Roman Reigns. Yes, he got hurt, and I thought that spot off the top rope was totally unnecessary. What he did prior to that was good enough, but, I mean, you get the adrenaline going. You want to make noise for all those people in that big-ass building in Saudi Arabia. So he got a little carried away and hurt himself. However, you cannot deny the body of work that he had prior to that injury. And I'm just coming from the gym, so I feel pretty good. My muscles might be a little puffy because I was working out, but Logan Paul is the guy that you put in the main event. Logan Paul also had a great performance when he was with Miz. Tag team match with Miz. Logan Paul also had the most memorable moment at this year's WAC Royal Rumble when he did that in-air perfectly synchronized mid-air collision with Ricochet. You can't make this shit up. I don't understand why people don't understand why Logan Paul should be in the main event. Even if it's not in a singles match, I would rather see Logan and Jake Paul against the Usos for the tag team titles and let Logan and Jake Paul win the tag team titles. So Logan Paul, if he don't beat Roman Reigns, is still a tag team champion. I will much rather. That is much more marketable in a big market WrestleMania, which WWE will be April 1st, April 2nd in Inglewood, California at the SoFi Stadium. That is a big-ass market. If you cannot get The Rock to be there, get Logan Paul and Jake Paul to be there. This is not a hard math equation. Logan and Jake Paul equals money. Simple as that. That's what the equation is. X plus Jake Paul plus Logan Paul equals money. That's a algebra equation for your behind right there. Nobody wants to see Seth Rollins on a featured WrestleMania card coming out dressing like the good. Now, if they made his character that he was going crazy because the casual fans didn't understand him and he was trying to be a heel, I will be cool with that. Not this goofy wearing sheer shirts and coming out in goofy Mario boots and all that crap. Nobody's going to perceive that as serious. His performance, I will give him credit. That thing he did with the Joker was pretty good. He obviously worked with somebody that had good choreography and all that type of stuff. Because when he did the dance thing that Joaquin Phoenix's Joker did that he filmed for WrestleMania, that was pretty good. Becky Lynch being Batman was ridiculous. But if his character was something like that, I'll be able to get behind it, where he was psychotic or he was going crazy because the casual fans didn't get him. They didn't respect his work rate. That is at least a character. So he could be a heel and he could be working with a baby face like a like a Braun Breaker or something, trying to prove like, dude, your style don't matter. And then, of course, Braun Breaker will be the baby face. That's the one the casuals go for. Like, I hate this little pest-ass Seth Rollins. That's the only way you can get a guy like Seth Rollins over. Nobody's going to care that he can do a Phoenix Splash, pop in the ring. He has the same style as Finn Balor, which that's another thing these wrestlers don't understand. Him and Finn Balor has identical moves, except that crappy finisher move that Finn Balor does that anybody can do, where he just does that soft stump off the top rope. It's awful. And he's supposed to be the demon. It's supposed to be a demon spike. Nobody takes you serious as his Prince character. You come out with a leather jacket and looking like a little boy with underwear on. Nobody's going to take that character serious, dude. Because Finn Balor and this Judgment Day stuff is also driving me crazy. First of all, if you're going to call this group Judgment Day, you have to make them somewhat dark, like how Edge was when they had the black eyes when you touch their forehead. Now they're just a bunch of goofs with that name. If you're going to take Edge out the group, Edge can't even help them now because Edge is becoming a mark with this work rate stuff, wrestling competitive matches with Finn Balor. Come on, Edge. Are you kidding me? You are a legitimate star, Edge. You should know better. You came up and you were one of the most improbable champions ever in WWE history when you had a locker room full of guys that could have been champion way over you. You overcame that. You stuck it out. You was in WWE for 7 years before you got a title opportunity. You would think Edge will be smart enough to take advantage of that. Nope, he didn't. Oh, I'm sorry. He will be taking that knowledge and bestowing it on these current wrestlers like Seth Rollins. Like him and Seth Rollins had a home invasion angle, and all Seth Rollins did was sit on the couch. First of all, Edge, you shouldn't have shot that at your real house. If you didn't want them to touch your stuff, why did you film that at your actual house? Do what they did with Triple H and Randy Orton in 2009, where they obviously rented out a house and made it seem like Randy Orton lived there. Because Randy Orton was not going to break his own window when Triple H showed him out the ring. That was obviously a set that they were on. So that's what Edge should have did. That's another thing that discredited the Edge Seth Rollins storyline. They didn't even actually break in his house. I'm sorry, they didn't do anything. He just broke. What did he do? Open the fridge probably, and that was it. Had a glass of orange. He didn't break nothing. Whereas fast forward to 15 years ago when Edge broke in John Cena's house, he slapped the shit out of his dad. That was way more memorable than anything you could have did. Wrestling has to be believable. It's a simulated sport. And this is a TV MA chat on the Twitch side, so that's why I'm cussing a little bit. Sorry for the people that's offended, but I'm trying not to cuss as much. But yeah, that it's just the Finn Balor. If you're gonna do this Judgment Day stuff, you have to make these wrestlers serious. Dominic Mysterio is dressed like a cholo with a bandana. What is the judgment that he's doing? If you're going to have a group called like Hurt Business or Judgment Day, they have to reflect what their name is suggesting. They have to do that. The Judgment Day should be called like Black Metal or something. Well, not that because that's too generic, but Black something. Black Chaos or something like that. Because they're more like a metal band. That's what they look like. They got the spiky jackets and all that type of stuff, the leather. They look more like a rock group than they look like a Judgment Day. Judgment Day is what those goofballs in AEW, the Dark Order, is trying to do. I refuse to call them the Dark Order. The only thing dark about y'all is when people don't see y'all when they turn the TV off. That's what's dark about y'all. Other than that, y'all a bunch of goofballs with masks that nobody would take serious. And one of these clowns tried to challenge me to a fight. I will beat you with my pinky finger. You wouldn't have a chance beating me. I wouldn't even have to hit you with a punch. I will literally beat you up with my pinky nail. None of y'all are intimidating. The most intimidating person in that group is that little kid probably, because at least he'll probably hit you in the balls and you'll be like, oh, crap, you'll go down. You goof clowns that look like with pot bellies, nobody's going to take you seriously. Since when do wrestlers, since when is it not a prerequisite for a wrestler to lift weights? I will never understand this. So you don't have to lift weights. So at least if you're not going to lift weight, Piper wasn't the biggest guy in the world, but he had arms. He had pretty developed arms. Piper wasn't the most jacked guy. He didn't have a six-pack, but Piper was a tough son of a gun. First of all, Piper was a Golden Gloves boxer. He was trained by Judo Gene LaBelle, who trained Chuck Norris, Daniel Bryan, and a bunch of karate people. He was a Ronda Rousey, too. He was a tough dude. That's why Piper mostly did what? He threw punches. That was his style. He wrestled like a madman. He threw punches and put people in submission holds. He had like a brawler style. Piper was one of the baddest, and he can talk. He's the greatest heel talker ever. I don't care what nobody says. I'm wearing a shirt right now, by the way. Hot Rod. The boss is back, man. WWE be making top heel looks. Top locks out to. Let me see. Get my Twitch. But Yeah, the WWE. I'm sorry, my message just came up and told me I lost access to Twitch, but it went away. Like what people don't understand is, are they saying it's a nude picture or something? Let me see. Let me refresh my page just to make sure it's not nude. Okay, I think are we live? Let's see. Hold on one second, y'all. It's like they were trying to deactivate me from Twitch. I have to refresh my page. Hold on. I might have got a suspension on Twitch. Hold on. I might have to edit the thumbnail. Give me 1 second. So yeah, what people don't understand is with Piper, if you're gonna make a top heels list, you can't be having wrestlers on a top heel list and not put Roddy Piper on there. That is the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. WWE be making documentaries with top heels and don't put Roddy Piper on there. Like, come on. Like that's obviously absurd to even do some crazy stuff like that. So Piper, what these wrestlers need to learn from Roddy Piper is how to talk and cut a promo. I think they took me down on Twitch probably because of the Stacy Keibler picture. So I might have to edit that photo and take it down. But for right now, if YouTube's not tripping about it, I'm not going to take it down. Twitch, y'all just need to take a chill pill. So yeah, these wrestlers need to learn how to cut promos, throw punches, and look like they're having a fight. This is not a hard equation to do. They make it hard, but it isn't. That's why Kevin Owens is okay. Kevin Owens is a solid promo. I get why people kind of like him. It's just hard to take him seriously from a physique standpoint because he looks like a fat goofball. You can't take him seriously because he looked like a fan who won a contest. Nobody wants to take him seriously. So that's the issue with a guy like Kevin Owens. Sami Zayn looks like a doughy bum. Nobody takes him serious. He's unkempt, unshaven. He's a decent promo, but that's about it. His acting skills are okay, but he's not this big deal people make him. Once again, since when did it stop being a prerequisite for wrestlers to lift weights? Since when? I don't understand why this is a problem at all. This shouldn't be happening. Let me take the Stacy Keibler thing down so won't nobody else be complaining about it. So yeah, these are the things that wrestlers need to learn about. They need to learn that you need to be able to cut a promo and you need to look like you're simulating a fight. And these are things that they're not doing right now. They're not simulating a fight. They're not trying to get better. They're not trying to take acting classes. I commend Apollo Crews for taking acting classes. He was saying, I want to get better, so I took acting classes. So that's what these guys are doing. Dominic's getting better with the Rey Mysterio where he's trying to punk him out. The whole Undertaker and Kane, I dare you to hit me, family member thing and all that type of stuff. They're trying to do that. It's getting better. They just need to keep going and have a match at WrestleMania. Dominic needs to be Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania because Rey Mysterio has absolutely no reason to beat Dominic Mysterio because Dominic Mysterio is the younger one. He can use the rub. I don't understand why Undertaker come out of retirement and not put people over. You already lost to Brock Lesnar. That should have been the time where you went on the tour where you start putting younger guys over. Your Undertaker, your credibility is not going to be ruined by, losing to some top guys. That what really would have helped Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt, with the original one with the Swamp character, he would have got helped out a lot if he would have beat The Undertaker. He's been so many different directions like Natalya at this point where it don't even matter. So who else needs some help on this show? The women's division is awful, with the exception of a few people. I don't know what they're doing, Nikki Cross, but she should be crazy. Give her an old theme song back and make her actually menacing. Put her with Alexa Bliss and maybe even Asuka. Make them a heel faction, and have them terrorize the roster. Get rid of these awful damage control women. Send them back to NXT. If you're not going to fire them, at least send them back to NXT. Neither one of them are ready for the main roster. Neither one of them. Neither one of them are strong promos. You can say whatever you want about Bayley. Bayley, if you're going to have her as his top heel, put her in NXT. She is not ready for the main roster. She's awful on the mic. She's not very attractive to look at. Bayley was best when she was the huggable character. And she's been away from that character long enough where she can go back to it now. So this damage control stuff is awful. Y'all try it with the main event. I'm so sick and tired of give the women a chance and put them in the main event. Every time WWE do that, their ratings go down. Why do you think they stopped doing it? They're tired of losing viewers. That's why they're stopped doing it. They're awful. I would give Bailey credit for one thing. She got over that JC Jane and Gigi Dolan storyline with the door when Gigi kicked the hell out, which they got the idea about from me. They're not going to admit it, but they did. We mentioned it on my podcast about a week or so before. Next thing you know, it was on TV. I said JC Jane needs to be the standout star because Gigi Dolan's already a star. Either they listen to my podcast or somebody from WWE did, and they put the idea. Don't believe me? Go back and listen to the podcast. JoJo could tell you, Jason. We talked about that, and it happened. It came from me. Just like the Hurt Business came from me and a lot of other ideas. But anyway, these are the things we need to be doing. And I'm looking forward to JC Jane and Gigi Dolan fighting at Roadblock or in whatever it's called. I think it's called Roadblock. It's going to be tomorrow. We'll also be covering that on this show. Shout out to Poggers, by the way. Just to take a quick mid-break. Man, take care of y'all health. Drink stuff, get some energy drinks, get you some creatine. Go to Poggers, check out their stuff. They got some good product. They're a new up-and-coming company. Once again, like I said, give them suggestions if you don't like what they already have. You can use my code, Prodigy Poggers. It's real simple. You can look it up. Matter of fact, I'll put it up on the screen for you. Prodigy Poggers, get 10% off when you use my code. And don't be silly. Obviously, after you use my code, come over and tell me, TJ, I use your code so I can know what? So I can give you your credit for putting the code in. So I'm going to put this up right now. Let me go over to Poggers, and they got my code thing right here. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So yeah, go take that out. They got different flavors. I heard they're working on an orange one that sounds delicious. I'm definitely gonna check it out. They got shakers, which I'm about to order. I'm just waiting for my shaker to come in the mail. Honestly, I already got it. So here's the code right here. Code Prodigy Poggers. I made it real easy for you. Prodigy Poggers. You put that code in, get 10% off. Go to the website, buy Poggers, or just Google Poggers. It'll come up, or Poggers, health drinks or something. It'll come up. You'll see it. So yeah. Go over there, get 10% off. Red Bull, Monster. Hey, I'm open for business too. I drink a lot of Red Bull. I drink more Red Bull than Monster. Monster's cool from time to time, but I like Red Bull because I need it for work because I work early in the morning. So yeah, these are the issues. WWE are having a hard time right now really getting people to watch their shows because they don't have stuff that people want to say. They don't have athletic looking fights. They don't have extremely hot women. And women that get put in the segments look like deer in headlights. Now, if you can get some athletic women and put them on TV, I'm completely fine with that. But they're not putting enough emphasis on these women. They're just not. But let's move on to Solo Sikoa. A lot of people say Solo Sikoa need a character change. I totally disagree. Solo Sikoa cannot be an individual star because he looks too much like the Usos. The Usos, he was always going to be compared to the Usos. So everybody said, oh, they should have made him his own character. They tried in NXT. It wasn't going anywhere. He was always going to be Jimmy and Jay's little brother. So the best thing to do was to bring him in. Some people say, oh, he doesn't have a character. His character is he's the savage that beats the hell out of people. Every character doesn't need to be complex. That's what you got. That's what for people like Kane and Undertaker and supernatural characters. Our truth character should have been a little more fleshed out with this little Jimmy thing. But certain characters just are designed to be beasts that just destroy you and plow people. He's done cool stuff. He injured Matt Riddle. He's been beating the hell out of anybody pretty much that tried to mess with the bloodline. He does have a character. He's doing just fine. Solo Sikoa is somebody I have a lot of hope for. I like the things that he's doing. I like that Solo Sikoa is young. He's younger than me. He's born like 1993, so he's late 20s. He's got plenty of time to develop. Congratulations, by the way. He got married. Big ups to him for getting married. So, yeah, he's one of those guys that just needs some time to really develop. He's already good at what he knows now. Very intense, fires up well. I don't know if you watch Umaga. I forget which family member he is. Umaga is an uncle or cousin, something like that. I want to say that's his uncle. You could tell he learned a lot from Umaga. You watch Umaga a lot. Very intense, like bulldozer. That Samoan drop looks devastating. He was wrestling, I think, was it Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn? One of them earlier in Raw, and it looked absolutely devastating. So he's a guy that I have a lot of hope in. Elsewhere on Raw, because Raw needs to focus on developing new talent. Raw is the flagship show, but it's absolutely awful. It's absolutely awful. The best show right now is WWE Developmental. It's NXT, and they're going backwards because they're not focusing. Minus the Brian Breaker stuff and the Gigi Dolan storyline. It's not much going on in NXT that's worth raving over, quite frankly. Yeah, so it's not really a whole lot going on over there that really is really going to knock your socks off, which is clear by the ratings. They're down to 555,000. When Mandy Rose there, they averaged about 700,000. They lost well over 150,000 viewers just losing Mandy Rose. Now, the product wasn't perfect with Mandy Rose there, but it was definitely watchable. Pretty much anytime you saw Toxic Attraction on TV, you knew it was going to be some cool stuff happening. It was not rocket science. You knew what it was going to be. So with that said, let's see who else on this Raw roster that we can fix, because they desperately need help. Because I'm trying to at least get the show maybe to about 75 minutes. I'm not going to do a super long show. Just talk about the main stuff. I don't know if Cena came up on TV. Is Cena on yet? Because when I checked earlier, Cena wasn't out there yet. If I had to guess, he's probably going to come out at 9 o'clock. Miz TV with Logan Paul, and it's probably Seth Rollins. Let's go to page 2. That happened. I like Miz. Big ups to Miz. Miz gets too much hate, man. I don't think people understand Miz. So Miz TV was the last thing that happened. Miz is a great performer. The fact that Miz isn't going to be on WrestleMania, as far as now, they might throw him in some last-minute bull stuff at the last minute. Miz should probably be going against Austin Theory. That's one of the few people that could turn Miz into a babyface. Austin Theory. Austin Theory can turn Miz into a babyface. Nobody else can. So with that said, it sucks, but I mean, if you're not a Triple H guy, go ask Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin has always been a very opinionated person. And for the people that think they can whoop Baron Corbin, dream on. And this is what I mean by that. You do realize that Baron Corbin is a former three-time Golden Glove boxer. You will not whoop Baron Corbin. So get that out of your head. You could think he's boring. You think he's undeserving. Vince didn't think that. And if you really look at Baron Corbin, it's pretty obvious that he's talented. For a guy that's 240 or 50 pounds to slide under the bottom rope, run around the ring and slide back in the ring and clothesline somebody, that takes dexterity, focus, and athleticism. And that's impressive for a cruiserweight, but it's an extremely impressive when a almost heavyweight does that. So get that out of y'all head. The biggest problem with Baron Corbin is he could have benefited from lifting a little more weights and putting on a suit, and he should have been coming out with JBL, and he should have been beating the piss out of people. That was the best way to utilize somebody like Baron Corbin. They should have been beating the hell out of people. Like taking these small guys, because something that is extremely grossly underused in pro wrestling right now is enhancement matches. In other words, jobber matches, where you get a local talent and you let the star get their moves in and look like $1 million. Baron Corbin and several other people that I could think of, if I actually put some brain power into it, could benefit from bringing back the enhancement matches, the jobber match. We haven't seen them much since like Braun Strowman Ryback era. We haven't seen them a whole lot. Bianca Belair is another talent that will benefit from time to time from working with a cocky heel enhancement person, because she's a powerhouse type female. She could throw people around. What better way to display her power and athleticism than have her throw around a local person? These are things that WWE management don't understand. And they try to sit there, I'm wondering why we get low ratings, because you're not doing anything to appeal to casual fans. This is not a hard formula. 1 + 1 is 2. I know Triple H has a hard time counting that bad, probably because he's been hit with too many chair shots. But, dude, it's not complicated to figure these things out. A tandem, I'm very excited because I just saw it on WWE.com. That I'm very excited that they're getting some screen time is Carmella and Chelsea Green. You talking about two extremely kind of like sassy, hot women that can appeal. They kind of got like a, I'm trying not to be inappropriate. They kind of have like a wild girl. It starts with an S and the second letter is an L. I'll let you use your imagination. They're kind of got that going on. So they're two hot chicks that kind of like, they look like some girls you'll see on a reality TV show. And these are the people that's going to bring in a male audience. Wrestling, whether people want to believe it or not, will always be a male-driven sport. Why is my numbers going down? Are we not on YouTube right now? Oh no, we're good. Okay, I thought we were I thought we got banned on YouTube too. Yeah, for the people that want to believe that, I'm sorry, I'm hearing myself. I was playing on YouTube. So you have to have Carmella and people like Chelsea. Chelsea Green's a star. Like, she needs to. I'm surprised she doesn't. No, I think she did have OnlyFans. She's one of those girls that will be very successful on OnlyFans. She's got that energy, that look. A lot of guys will probably. She's a gorgeous lady. A lot of guys will probably froth at the mouth over her. So these are the people that you need to be really utilizing. Chelsea Green, Carmella. Liv Morgan is cool, but I think she's starting to get a little overutilized. She's a bit annoying sometimes on the mic. Well, at least this current character she's playing, I don't too much care for. Liv Morgan, These hot women, Lacey Evans, she's talented. I don't know why Elektra Lopez isn't on the main roster. When Lioness come back, or Nikita Lyons, they call her in WWE. When she comes back, she need to be heavily featured. Very marketable look, badass chick. I think she needs to lose a little bit of weight because she's carrying a lot of weight around. She's already a very thick woman. I think she's carrying a lot of weight on her knees, which is why she keeps getting injured. And she trains like crazy. I think she needs to take a step back because that's a lot of weight on her knees. So I think that's the only thing that's really slowing down Lioness right now. Who else we got on? I would say some people they need to take off TV immediately as being way too pushed. Johnny Gargano, Bronson Reed, Candice LeRae. Even though Candice is a good athlete, Candice is one of those people that you use as an enhancement talent. And I honestly think she's a team player and she doesn't have this ego where it won't be an issue for her to put people over. I don't think that will be a problem. But she needs to be taken off TV. She's not that big of a deal. Who else gets pushed way too much? Any cruiserweight that can't talk, take them off TV. And some of them I can't think off the top of my head right now. But I just brought up the Raw roster. Jonathan Coachman needs to come back and be the general manager of WWE. He gets heat. He's an athlete. And when it's time to get beat up, he has absolutely no issue doing it. It's time for Coachman to come back to WWE. Adam Pearce is an awful general manager. First of all, nobody knows who he is outside of hardcore wrestling fans, which they're already super catered to. They don't matter. So get him off TV right away. He's boring as hell. He's got this goofy glasses. Nobody knows this guy. Like your GM is supposed to be a character on your TV show that's adversarial to everybody. So that's a story arc. It's a lot of TV. Look at what people like Eric Bischoff and Vince and Vicky Guerrero and even sometimes Teddy Long. Look at the mileage they got out of being GMs and stuff like that. Look what they got out of that. They got to work with top guys. Jonathan Coachman was in a Royal Rumble getting stumped once and holding on to the rope. He understands psychology. Adam Pearce says, I was in Ring of Honor and I got hired because I put my time in the business. That's the only reason Adam Pearce is there. Yeah, Jonathan Coachman definitely had a cool theme song, Victor. Hard-hitting, back-breaking, everybody on their feet. And I think Goody Mob, one of those like bands from down in or groups in like Atlanta, one of those popular early 2000s. I think Goody Mob made that song. It was a dope song. Even his first song was cool. That first, what you gonna do when they're calling back? That song was cool. That's another thing. Victor, thank you for bringing up theme songs. The theme songs are awful. A theme song is supposed to make you easily identify a wrestler. When you hear that theme song, it's supposed to get you your feet and that's so-and-so coming out. That's that's Brian Breaker. That's Karrion Kross. That's Rey Mysterio. Oh man, it's The Rock. He returned. Like these theme songs are awful. And WWE are being lazy and trying to save money. At least if y'all gonna do that, have y'all in-house producer make some good tracks. These tracks are awful. They all sound like generic YouTube like rock songs. Most of them. Like generic track 42. That's what people are coming out to. It is no thought put into. It's no originality put into these theme songs. Wrestling theme song is a wrestler's identity. That's supposed to tell you right away what they're about. Like trying to think of somebody. Goldberg. When you hear that, well, you hear like I like theme songs with vocals in it too. When they saying somebody's gonna come get you, or I can't think of one off the top of my head right now. But when that say stuff like Eric Bischoff, that I'm back song, I'm back and I'm better than ever, that tells you exactly who Eric Bischoff is. That fit him. The Ric Flair theme fits him perfect. It's legendary. The Undertaker, Austin, Rock, Piper, when you hear that, when you hear those bagpipes, Macho Man got over a goofy graduation, pomp and circumstance. Like that fit him perfect. That's what you think a guy like him will come out to. Oh yeah. He's the only person that could have got that graduation song over. A simple pomp and circumstance song Macho Man got with the finger twirl, with the robes, the ooh yeah. That's why he's one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what, Hulk Hogan? Yeah. Oh yeah, dig it. Jinder Mahal, Edge, John Cena, Rey Mysterio are a few wrestlers I can think of that have good theme songs currently. Yes, they do. Jinder Mahal's, Edge is good. Cena's is pretty cool. Rey Mysterio, yes, I agree. Jinder Mahal theme song was composed by Jim Johnston. No wonder it sounds fitting. Exactly, because Jim Johnston was great. The last theme song that Jim Johnston made for WWE before they foolishly released them was "End of Days." That Bray Wyatt's, I'm not Bray Wyatt, Baron Corbin's theme song. That was the last one. Then they got CFO Dollar Sign. CFO Dollar Sign is not as bad as some people say. They had some good songs. That Tonight Is the Night song was great. Some people don't. I don't like this idea that people say hip hop ruins everything. No, it doesn't. If it's about if it fits the context of the song. Tonight is the night. Well, it was technically called The Night. Was the perfect song for Raw because they're talking about a action themed show. Tonight is the night. Yeah, bright lights, flashlights, whatever it was saying. They're getting you prepared for the show. So I like The Night, that 2012 song when they first went 3 hours. Now most songs are just awful. Now the last good Raw song came out, I think around 2017, 2018. This is a call for the Warriors. That song was pretty damn cool. I think NS or MN or whatever that guy. He got 2 letters. I think he made that song. This is a call for that was it got you hype. Like when they was like coming to the ring when they be walking, they flexing their arms, getting prepared for the match. Yeah, This is a call for the Warriors was the last good song. Now they're just awful generic like poppy or like generic metal sounding songs. Yeah, the Warrior was great. You talking about Tonight is the Night, Victor, or Call for the Warriors? Which one are you talking about? Corbin doesn't use that song anymore. Sadly, you know what? I don't mind the current Baron Corbin, the Jackpot. It sounds okay. Jump. It's meant to be goofy. It's all right. And the one he had before that was cool too. It was a cool song. I always thought the graduation song was Macho Man's Randy Savage theme song. OG. Yeah, it was cool. Oh, Tonight Is the Night is a great song. It was a great song. Some people didn't like it, and that was actually CFO Dollar Sign. I'm 50% man. That was them actually on that rapping. Yeah. So yeah, they were pretty talented dudes. I think they were like Middle Eastern or something. They were talented. But they wanted their money for the catalog, and WWE didn't want to pay for it. But if you want to find their theme music, all of it's on YouTube and on Apple Music. So there is all. I'm sure there's other places, but that's the main 2 things I listen to them on. Usually on Apple Music when I'm working out at the gym, I'll listen to it. But theme songs are so de-emphasized. And right now, we're going from a Raw recap to just a general report card to WWE and explaining why WWE is so awful right now. WWE is bad. Every way measurable, WWE is bad right now. From the presentation, from the talent, from the written material, the content, to the theme songs. Some of the outfits look awful. Nobody has an identifiable or memorable character. I should say very few people have an identifiable or marketable character. It's not really worth investing your time in. Lacey Evans has a character. Karrion Kross has a character. Alexa Bliss has a character. It's awful, but Bray Wyatt has a character. Well, no, minus that. No, forget Bray Wyatt. Even though he sells some merch, these people are buying that merch. Yes, CFO did a few hit things. Yeah, they did a couple of them. The Finn Balor song was cool. Excuse me. Some people don't like the AJ Styles songs. I do. I don't mind it at all. I know it's rappy, but you got to understand he's a conservative rap fan in real life. I always thought, well, he's currently hurt, but when AJ Styles come back, take him out of the vest, take him out of the gloves, the video game outfit, and make him like a redneck conservative. He's like that in real life. Why not make him an offensive heel? Like he's chewing tobacco, cussing people out for not liking guns. Put him in a flannel and make him wear a MAGA hat. That's what you do with AJ. He's a conservative heel and conservative Christian in real life. Him and Undertaker are church buddies. That's why Undertaker had his last match against AJ Styles. It's not a coincidence. Their wives go to church with each other. It mentions redneck and exactly. We some country boys working overtime for it. Yeah, yeah, it's a good theme song. So yeah, a lot of these theme songs now are just goofy and awful. Bianca Belair has a character and a theme song. She has great physical charisma because people think charisma is just talking. No, it's something to having actual physical charisma too. Carmella and Bianca Belair has great that. That's why I like seeing them in segments with each other. Alexa Bliss has great physical and talking charisma. Asuka has great physical and talking charisma. I'm sure there's a lot of others. B-Fab. She's got, like I said, she's got a ways to go. It's a lot she can learn, but she's pretty darn good so far. I mean, she just needs to keep adding on what she's already doing. I like what B-Fab is doing. Some of the males. See, a lot of the time, most of the segments I enjoy now, even though I know it's forced and all that, are the female segments because I feel like at least it's effort put into the female segments. A lot of these male segments, you like, I can't believe I just watched it. And I know some of it is hidden hand stuff backstage and politics and we got to serve this agenda, that agenda. I get that plays a large role in it. However, the women man, they be doing their thing. At least I don't care about wrestling. I care about being entertained. Most of the women's segments are, to me, are written better than the males are. The promos and all that, they're better. Now, a lot of male guys I actually enjoy. Karrion Kross. A lot of the stuff that I'm gonna mention NXT Chase U stuff is decent. I like the whoop that trick thing that Trick Williams got going on. The whoop that trick. That's a very marketable catchphrase, which is why they were chanting in Memphis when Charlotte had her first title defense against Sonya Deville New Year's week. They said whoop that trick. That was cool. You need to have another thing that we could talk about. Merchandise in WWE is god awful. They have some of the worst merchandise I've ever seen in my life. Who wants a Seth freaking Rollins shirt? No grown adult will ever wear that shirt. None. That is one of the goofiest shirts I've ever seen in my life. Some of these sayings, first of all, are too insular. Like, you have to watch WWE only to know what they mean. Whereas Taz character looks like, I forget what the word, I guess ubiquitous, where anybody can understand it anywhere. Like, it's a cool logo. Like, you want to wear, you don't feel embarrassed standing at the bus stop like you're going to get beat up wearing that shirt. So they need to improve their merchandise. Like, and I'm not saying it was always the 90s and all that. Early 2000s had cool merch. Some of the indie shows got cool merch. WWE currently, right now, for whatever reason, their marketing division is awful and they don't know how to make products. Like, they don't have cool stuff. Like, the Solar Cup is cool. Like, the Street Profits customizable Solar Cup, that's cool. That's something you can hold. Wrestlers want stuff that they can hold, like the foam fingers or a chain or something. You have to have stuff that wrestlers can interact with. Like, today's wrestling does not utilize the six-man, aka the crowd, nearly as much as they should. And it's absolutely foolish because basically every other sports show effectively uses the crowd. I don't understand why WWE cannot comprehend this, but they cannot comprehend this. It's not hard. It is not hard at all. Y'all need to do better. And I'm sorry. Let me see. Hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I just want to make sure we're still on YouTube. They're just not marketable at all. Like, nobody wants to wear these goofy shirts that these wrestlers come out with. They don't look cool. The shirts look awful. The gear looks awful, most of them. And, they need to, another thing, they need to take advantage of real life issues. It's not enough personal real life issues with all this stuff with Russia and all the personal stuff. You need to satirize this stuff and make people forget about it. You don't have to present it as serious. Just make people forget about the tragedies that's going on in the world by making jokes. That's what good sketch comedy shows do. They make fun of serious issues. WWE are awful at this. That's why that Retribution, which was supposed to be Antifa, that's why that crap didn't work. They had a bunch of wrestlers that nobody care about whining. First of all, you should be thrown out of a helicopter screaming because you should be grateful that you have a job despite deserving to have one. What they should have did with Retribution, if you were going to use all those young people, they should have made them fight for their contracts at SummerSlam, kind of similar to the Nexus, where the Nexus had a big blow-off match at SummerSlam. It should have been better, and they should have won, but they should have made it where they had to fight for their contracts. That would have put heat. You have to have reasons. Wrestling is such in a terrible state right now where people are fighting for absolutely no reason. It has to be stakes on the line. It is zero stakes on wrestling matches, which is why nobody cares about it. I'm looking at Austin Theory's chin now. This guy has the smallest chin ever. I have a small chin. His chin's smaller than mine, which is saying a lot. WWE is in poor shape right now, man. A lot of reasons that I mentioned before is what they need to fix in this show. But Raw is awful, 1.7 million. The bloodline stuff is getting old. You need to add something new to it, or at least add some legitimate threats to Roman Reigns that's not these goofballs, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. You need to put guys like Karrion Kross, Corbin. I'm trying to think of some other people I can't think of. Basically, you need some fresh, marketable talent for them to work for. I don't know if you got to get them from another company like a Moose or a Big Cass and Enzo. WWE needs to do some. And I get it. I'm usually one of those people that say storylines shouldn't end just because I don't want to, because I want them to end. Let storylines breathe. I hate when people say, "Oh, we saw that match already." Maybe it's more to the story you could tell, or maybe they have unfinished business. I like the idea of picking up on a hot story. It's no hot stories. It's nothing in wrestling right now. Not much to sink your teeth into. Everything is goofy and overrated at this point. And that's something desperately. I'm all about solutions. People always try to say, "Oh, you hate wrestling." Now, if I hate wrestling, I would not be talking about it as much as I do. I don't talk about nearly as much as I used to, but I wouldn't talk about it. Period. If I dislike wrestling, y'all have to get that out y'all mind. I just want it to be better. Like, we have to stop saying, "Oh, just eat it, just accept it." No, people are going to continue to feed you nonsense if they know you're just going to accept anything. Any merchant, any product creator, they're going to do the bare minimum if they know you're going to accept it. That's all it comes down to. For anybody that thinks Stacy Keibler is new, she clearly isn't. She has underwear on and she's covering her front part. So Twitch, stop being sensitive, babies. So yeah, let's get to the last but not least topic of what's one of the just an exclamation point or how bad Triple H's vision for WWE is. Triple H, why haven't you announced the 2023 Hall of Fame yet? I'm hearing maybe Stacy Keibler is in there. Now it went down that it wasn't announced. I don't know what's going on. Allegedly, Stacy Keibler is the first inductee. I'm not sure if she's from California or not. She might be. I need to double check it. Where is Stacy Keibler from? She feels like a Midwest girl. Let me see this. Stacy Keibler. But she looks like a California girl. Stacy. And Keibler is a very marketable name, too, because it makes you think of those cookies. And she is a sweet-looking girl. Is that her real name? Her real name is actually Stacy Keibler. Wow. She's actually from the East Coast. Okay, she's from Maryland. I thought she was from like the either the Midwest or West Coast, but she's from Maryland. So allegedly, it would have made more sense for her to go in next year because they'll be in Philadelphia. Whatever. The Rock's from California. I would have thought it would have been a person from California headlining, but I know the Rock's not available. The Hall of Fame has not been announced yet, which is awful. Allegedly, Stacy Keibler is the first inductee. Good for her. And for the people that's going to try to bury say, she doesn't deserve it, you're out of your mind. Go back and look at how many males she brought to the show. Stacy Keibler segments used to get watched. Even silly stuff like evening gown matches, bra and panties match. She played her role well. Stacy Keibler knew how to be a star. She was hot. She was gorgeous. She knew exactly. She sold. When she'd get put in a move, she sold well. She's a smart lady. Big ups to Stacy Keibler. Love Stacy Keibler. She was a great lady. She deserves to be able to show this Tori Wilson. Get out of here. Nobody remembers Bull Nakano and goddamn what's that other lady name? Alundra Blaze. Nobody knows them. Their wrestling contributions were insignificant. Only hardcore fans know them. That's not worth it. The Hall of Fame means you were the very, very best in some type of way, either a performer, a wrestler, or you drew eyeballs. Stacy Keibler was the latter. She drew eyeballs. That's why she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. They still got the Trishas and all that Litas and the what's the other lady name? She was around in the 80s. I can't think of her name right now, but the work rate women are in there. Now let's start putting sports entertainers in there. It is not enough focus on. I'm not even mad like some people are that Snoop Dogg's in the Hall of Fame. Snoop Dogg brings a lot of eyeballs to WWE. I'm sure he's done a lot of charity. I don't have no mind. Snoop Dogg's entertaining. I like Snoop Dogg. I'm okay with Snoop Dogg being up in there. He ain't no worse than Vince McMahon's driver being in there. No worse than Drew Carey. Drew Carey don't have no business up in there. But Snoop Dogg at least is a person. And Snoop Dogg actually knows a lot about pro wrestling. He's a big pro wrestling fan. You don't believe me? Go watch him clothesline Santino Marella. I played it a few times on my show. So y'all need to get over the fact that Snoop Dogg's in the Hall of Fame. He's an entertainer. Snoop Dogg has had matches before. Yes, he had that awful dive off the top rope, but that's because he was in AEW. AEW makes you bad because it's an unprofessional company. So anything over there more times than not is not going to look right. So yeah, Hall of Fame class. Now let me just predict who I will put in the Hall of Fame, and then we'll move on. I'm sure y'all some hilarious. Victor, please stay around for this. Some dumb wrestling. You probably saw it on TWRP, but for my fans that didn't see it here, I'm gonna show y'all 3 segments of wrestling fans looking silly, doing crazy stuff, and they probably didn't get paid for it either. My Hall of Fame class this year, if we can get The Rock, obviously The Rock is going to headline. If not, Batista is a good backup. I'm hearing Batista, and apparently the Hall of Fame is announced as March 31st, which is the Friday before night 1 of WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is 2 nights, April 2nd and 3rd, or April 1st and 2nd, which is Saturday and Sunday. But the Hall of Fame is March 31st. They haven't announced anybody officially that I know of, which is absolutely foolish. But who I will put in the Hall of Fame, like I said, if we can get The Rock, The Rock. If not, Batista's a good headliner. You know they got to have a woman, so I would say Trish Stratus or Jazz, one of those two. A tag team. What's a tag team that's done something that's not already there? If we're going to go with comedy and they were a draw, why not put Too Cool up in there? Too Cool's entertaining. But I'm trying to think of somebody that's who, because I think a lot of the tag teams are already in the Hall of Fame. Are the Rockers in the Hall of Fame? Shawn Michaels from Arizona, so that's kind of West Coast. But then again, Shawn Michaels don't need to go in the Hall of Fame twice. He's already in there. But at least they'll put Marty Jannetty up in there. So maybe the Rockers or Too Cool or because I'm drawing a blank because I think a lot of the tag teams already been inducted. For right now, we'll just say the Rockers are Too Cool. Yep, Trish went in 2013. I remember that. Lita went in 2014. Because Umaga, you got to put Umaga in there because he's from San Francisco. So Umaga. I don't know if Doink was a draw. I'm trying not to think so much California. Like a legend. I've got to put. I think Vader's already up in there. If not, Lex Luger. Put Lex Luger up in there. I know he walked out on WWE, but that was so long ago. Get over it. Put Lex Luger in there. And I would say just those people, Luger, and you got to put a celebrity. If we're gonna put a celebrity up in there, put Logan Paul in there. Because Logan Paul, I know it sounds absurd because he's still signed with WWE. Why not? Just in case he leaves. Logan Paul has done celebrity-wise more for WWE than anybody. Or put Jim Johnston up in there, who made all the WWE music. Why not Jim Johnston? Oh, he said Vader went in last year. Great, good. Big ups to Vader. I haven't done my air horns all day. Air horns, man. Thank y'all. Thank Victor for man. Thank you, Victor, for Victor. If y'all can't hear it, I'm playing air horns and clapping right now. I'm not sure if y'all can hear it. So thank you, Victor, for being Marissa for stopping in for a second. Everybody else that came in. If y'all new, man, check out the YouTube. It's TJ Time. No, that's actually Twitter. Twitter is TJ Time 1991. It's TJ Time 1991. And then YouTube is TJ the Prodigy, all lowercase letters. TJDA Prodigy. That's what the YouTube is. So yeah, we're gonna try to do something. I'm trying to get some merch made soon. This is probably gonna be the year I do it because I've been able to thoroughly sit down and think about what I want. And plus, now with the sponsors and stuff coming in, it might be the year I might actually get serious with it. So yeah, they put those people in the Hall of Fame, and they're making too many bad decisions. We already talked about the Money in the Bank and the King and Queen of the Ring. It's probably gonna be awful, but it is what it is. Last but not least, before we get up out of here, some shows I do long, some I don't. This is not gonna be a long show. Once again, we coming back tomorrow, so y'all expect us on the podcast. NXT Roadblock. I'm looking forward to the Gigi Dolan, JC Jane. That's some of the best TV in WWE right now. We will be covering that and probably some MMA tomorrow. We covered MMA this past Saturday night going into Sunday morning. The return of John Jones. It was electrifying. Go check that video out. Also on my YouTube channel, TJ the Prodigy, UFC 285 coverage. You will see it on there. And on my Twitter, it's TJ Time 1991 for the people on Twitter. If you want to be entertained, if you want funny stuff, if you want historical facts, if you want an alternative opinion, follow me on Twitter because everybody on there is robots except me and people I hang with. Everybody just speak corporate lines and say, I'm not that guy. I'm fun. People always think I'm serious or I'm cynical or I'm out to criticize everything. No, I just want stuff to make sense. I'm usually most of the time, people that really know me will tell you that I'm a jokester like 99% of the time. People that live in my house will tell you that. I'm usually a joke. I don't take life very seriously because I have a stressful job, so I have to have balance. I'm a public safety officer that deal with combative people all the time, so I have to have balance in my life. Obviously, I'm not always serious all the time. That's the people that want to believe what they want to believe about me that believe that. Okay, let's go to TWRP. Let me put my homies up. This was so funny. I remember where the exact moments where they did this crap was at. Let me see. At the scene pot thing. This man was hilarious with the Great Khali stuff. Victor, you probably saw this on TWR. People, bear with me. If y'all want to see wrestling fans being silly,
some fucking indie rap group. But anyways, they did a 3D to some fan who ran on stage.
Watch this. A fan got 3D at Do Cypher. Look at this shit. Oh shit.
Okay, that looked planned as shit, but still cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah,
still cool. Something that's not cool.
Should have lit him on fire afterwards. But,
Hey, you know what? You want to talk about people being lit on fire? Explain this stunt, Jason.
Look at this. Before he burned, they got thrown. Look at this. What a fool. And he's still on fire at this moment. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ, was the $2 show worth it that much? Like, how much is that guy really getting paid to get lit on fire and thrown into a wall?
He got thrown right on concrete. It didn't even land on the table. It was like right on the concrete.
What a fool.
Oh, but it gets worse.
Victor, these marks are hilarious.
Here. Let's close.
Now, why? This was the worst one.
Bitch.
Yeah, I'm sure they got to burn. It probably hurt like hell. Now look at this girl that got dropped off the top of this thing. Her face, now I'm sure she braced her fall, but that has to be one of the foolish things I've ever seen in my life. The girl fell in the thing.
She just got Owen hearted.
Oh my God. that everything we just watched is way more entertaining than everything that's happened in WWE. I want to thank everybody for being here. Like I said, quick 75 minutes, hour and a half show. I'm not sure how the Cena thing went. Point is, what John Cena need to come out and do is talk, have a good promo. I didn't beat everybody. He gets cut off by Austin Theory. Austin Theory slaps him and say, dude, we didn't miss you in WWE. You can go away. And of course, I'm just improvising. It's another way you can write it. So have him say, Cena, we don't need you, man. We don't need you here. Yeah, slap Cena. Cena gets up, get man right out the ring. He said, I want to see you in a match at WrestleMania. Cena say, I accept, you little coward. Something like that. You know what I mean? He's pissed Cena off and say, not tonight. I'm worth money. You're going to fight me at WrestleMania. And John Cena said, you know what? I'm going to be the professional and show you what a champ is. And I'm going to put this boot up here, whatever he needs to say. So Austin Theory, Cena, if y'all not going to do that, WWE, y'all completely wasted John Cena showing up. Like, why have him there other than y'all desperately need ratings, which I understand. And, I'm sorry, I missed when Victor said Batista too. I heard, but that's what I'm hearing. Batista's supposed to be the headliner because allegedly The Rock might not be available. So the thing with John Cena is, or with main eventers in general, bro, y'all got to put main eventers on the show. Don't nobody want to see these non-draw people being on the show. John Cena is going to be there to boost these numbers up because the numbers are awful, but why not get a wrestler to rub? And you might as well make it for the U.S. title. John Cena was the U.S. champion in 2015. He was champion 12 years into his career, where he was clearly multiple-time WWE champion, world champion at that point. So, make this stuff make sense. Make it matter. Keep it, y'all. WWE, y'all got a tall task, man. Y'all are not going to really be able to sell out this arena. I highly doubt y'all sold 90,000 tickets. That's the narrative that WWE's putting out there in the news. And they feeding it to Sports Kita and all these people that they clearly control. That is not true. WWE might have barely sold 50,000 tickets. If they sold 90,000 tickets, a lot of those tickets were comped or probably free. It is no way they sold 90,000 tickets with Cody Rhodes, who most people barely know his father is. They definitely don't know who he is. As great as Dusty was, they barely knew him because Dusty was a regional NWA wrestler and champion. He never had a good run in WWE. So nobody knows Cody Rhodes outside of 100,000 fans that came over from AEW. Let's be serious. Y'all gonna always get the 100 from me. If you one of those people that want, some sugar-coated soft, that ain't from me, brother. I'm not gonna do. I'm always going, brother, is Hogan the one that doesn't work for me, brother. So you ain't gonna get that from me. Nobody knows who Cody Rhodes is. I'm sorry. People know who The Rock is. People know Batista and all the top stars I mentioned earlier. So that's what they got a tall task if they want to sell out this arena. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, y'all. They gonna have to comp a lot of tickets. They gonna lie about the number. We broke the all-time record when they gonna count everybody in the building, concession stand, the cleaning crew and all them people. They count the amount of people that's in the building, not the amount of people that actually paid for the show, which is suspicious and it's unethical to me when you exaggerate numbers. I don't too much care for stuff like that. WrestleMania as we get closer, hopefully the shows get better. I got an obligation to Pogger, so I'm gonna try to do some shows to get their stuff out there. Like I said, they're a young store, website. Let me give y'all the exact site because I've been guessing all night what it is. I know it's Pogger, so let me just go to their site. If you Google Poggers, you'll find it, obviously. But I'm about to tell you the exact site right now. Drink Poggers. I'm sorry, I've been saying buy Poggers. It's drinkpoggers.com. Go support them. They're a small company. They're only 3 years old. They got some good stuff. If nothing else, get a mixer. If you like G Fuel or one of the other ones, at least support them. Get a mixer and you have it on there. It's a funny emote. If you're in the Twitter world, it helps small channels. It's beneficial across the board. And make sure they pay you for what they're doing. Let me go ahead and put Poggers up right now. This is what we're going to close out with. You don't allow somebody to not give you credit for stuff. So when you use my code, Prodigy Poggers, and it's alliteration, I made it easy for you, PP, Prodigy Poggers, which is spelled like Prodigy and Poggers, Poggers. And when you don't like something, tell them, suggest it. Say, I like this flavor. You should add this merchandise. Add some t-shirts. Add some hoodies. You give people feedback. Don't just say, I don't like it. That ain't doing nothing. You can not like something. What's the solution? You can complain all day, but have a solution. So this is what their cool website. Look at this, man. This is cool. Look at these emotes. I'm sure you've seen these emotes on Twitter. It's made by a great artist. I keep forgetting to look up his name, but he knows who he is. He made this. Big ups to that guy. I hope he's getting credit. But yeah, look at this. Cool mixers. They're very durable. I've seen YouTube channels do reviews. Once I get mine, I'll do a review. They got the spring and ball on the inside. Be careful with the top. You have to keep it tight, obviously. But that's something I would suggest. Poggers, not being critical, but just being constructive. Get better lids that don't leak. I've been hearing after a while that they leak. So keep in mind with that. But they got some good flavors that you can see. Cream, I heard the cream was very, very popular. And they got the Pog Pop. That's their 2 best sellers right now, from what I understand. So go check out their stuff. Pretty easy navigate. They got the affiliate. I'm an affiliate. You get good perks, of course, when you do that. But yeah, use that code Prodigy Poggers, get 10% off. Inbox me on Twitter at it's TJ Time 1991, or follow this channel on YouTube, TJ the Prodigy or whatever, and come say, Prodigy, I got that thing. Shout me out, because I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm gonna shout you, I'm gonna do it. I've done it for people before. I've won stuff too. I got a Queens Takeover Wrestling mug right here on my table, so shout out to them. We don't have much contact anymore, but I won a sweepstake and they shipped me a cup. So big ups to those people. So yeah, go help that out, Monster, man, in Red Bull. If y'all want to sponsor me, adult content. Well, I got MMA content on my channel. My MMA correspondent's a lot more, likable to me, I would say, and I give them the flow. I just play mediator when they get on here. So that's Cope Corner, Mr. B 1986. They my MMA correspondents, mainly Mr. B 1986. So check them out. They got a show on Friday where they cover MMA. Cope's Corner. Copes is with a K, K-O-P-E-S. And yes, that's War Machine's brother. For people that's the wrestler, the UFC, former UFC fighter, War Machine. That's his brother, Mike Copenhagen. So Cope's Corner got his thing. Very marketable. Go help that brother out. He helps people with betting and winning money on fights. He's a good guy. He's won a lot of money. So check out Cope's Corner every Friday. Those are my brothers. Mr. B 1986 for all things MMA updates, injuries, information, fight updates, all that type of stuff. That's on his Twitter, Mr. B 1986. Last but not least, me on Twitter is TJ Time 1991. On YouTube, TJ the Prodigy. Let me know what y'all think of this product. I'm gonna let y'all know what I think of. Like I said, if you don't get nothing else, get a mixer. Why not? It's a good thing. If you're a gym person like I am, I wouldn't say I'm a gym rat, but I regularly work out. So mine is coming in the mail soon, and I'll let y'all know what I think of it. I'm just going off the reviews of what I heard. They need a tighter lid. These are very popular products. This is the powder with the water. So if you're a powder person, check this out. I'm going to suggest to them that they get more liquid-based stuff. I like more liquid energy stuff, or liquid supplement, or maybe some chewables. They'll get there, though. They still young and still trying to establish what they're got. Let's go to their products now. Check it out. So they got the black shaker. They got the clear shaker, which is a little cheaper. I like this design a little better. I got the black one. They got a acai berry. That's a sleeping supplement. So if you have an issue sleeping, check that supplement out. They got grape flavor. I'm more of a grape person. For the sleep, it sounds delicious. They got Cream Dream Energy. The name is a bit funny sounding, but yeah, check that one out. So you got multiple flavors of things that you got big tubs of things. I'm not sure how big some of these tubs are. They look pretty generous, though. I'm sure you can find out more information. Let's click on this, see how big this tub is. This tub is 126 grams or 4.4 ounces. I'm guessing that's what they all are. Let's click on a couple of these. Yeah, 4.4 ounces. So you can get your 4.4 ounce. You got powers. You get deals with the bundle. They got bundles. They got the sleeper bundle. They got the energy bundle. I'm probably going to grab the energy bundle. So they got products. They're going to improve over time, but you have to let them know. You don't get nothing done without letting people know. When you don't like a product, leave feedback, constructive feedback. This is how you get better. So go over there, say yourself 10% off. Prodigy Poggers as I check out. Once again, thank you to my team. I would not be able to do this without them. Many people perceive me as ungrateful and arrogant. That's fine. When you really know me, you know that's not true. So shout out to the team, Mr. B 1986 on Twitter, Cope's Corner on Twitter, and Jason, the funny man, the man of many faces. I'll talk to y'all soon. Check us tomorrow, NXT roadblock coverage. 2 gorgeous women. If you want to see gorgeous women, good athleticism, go check out the channel tomorrow. Go check out NXT. Like I said, that's the best thing in WWE right now. And as we always say, well, if y'all wonder why we always call ourselves scarecrows, it's because we're outstanding in our field. We good at what we do. And man, I love the team. Shout out to Victor, Sonic the Hedgehog, all these people that support me. Billy Bob Ambrose, only Mac Diesel, only Slightly Intoxicated, the whole crew. Y'all know y'all are JC, NC from Work Rate, the squad that's counter culture that keep wrestling entertaining and relevant. We wouldn't be able to do this without y'all, without the fans. We providing an alternative voice, and we really appreciate y'all being here. We went an extra 10 minutes, but it was mostly promotional stuff. I'll see y'all again. Shout out to the whole team. Poggers, thank y'all for making me an affiliate. I'm going to make this thing do what it do. You stay honest with me, I'll stay honest with you. And once again, anybody else want to sponsor, man, like I said, we do MMA sports. Hit me up. It's CJ Time 1991 on Twitter, and we'll do something. I love Monster. So I'm sorry, Monster School, but I like Red Bull. So Red Bull, if y'all listening, hey, throw something my way, and we'll make it happen. Yeah, we'll check y'all soon, man. And yeah, I'm rich. No, I ain't going to say it. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. Peace. Roadblock tomorrow. Catch us tomorrow, man. Bless y'all families. Have a good night.